So we're here at Great Spirits Ranch, and it's your first time here.
It is. Yep.
What do you got to say for Deborah Malmozada's amazing ranch?
Well, you know, the thing is, I thought we were going to be here previously, but now I understand that the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
This time. It was closure to an amazing awakening of how, as we come together to collaborate on something good, can shift so quickly, and this is the perfect closure for it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in a way, this is like a small version of what you want to do, where you're working with the land and creating a place for people to gather and heal. And
parts of it are,
Yeah.
as far as reconnecting with the land.
Yeah.
And nourishing our bodies from the land, you know,
Yeah.
without doing anything to it. It's just the way it's meant to be, and being sustainable in that sense, appreciating nature.
Quantum living is what you're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very exciting name. I'm surprised that was even available.
Yeah, you know, it actually wasn't. It was for sale, and I purchased it.
Good for you.
No, the quantum living name is what I came up with, but I purchased a .com.
Yes.
For that immediately, because I knew, in my eyes, it quantifies just maximum living. You know, the prosperity that we all seek, and we're not quite sure where to find it, and it just kind of
Yeah, we've all
envelopes
looked
all
for
of
it in different ways, or money, or power, or whatever, but it's really about community, isn't it?
It's all about community.
Yeah.
But we just spread ourselves so thin with all our obligations that we found ourselves apart at the end.
In a way, it's we definitely forgot the old cliche, money doesn't buy happiness.
I think it takes a lot of realization to figure that out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, have to go through adversity to get it. Because when we don't feel good, even though we lost a loved one, that's when we say, nothing matters to me. You know, and then we have almost no foundation to build on until we recapture our strength and then move forward. So I always felt like health is such a gift that people don't realize until they lose it, what that means. Because if you don't have health, you have nothing to build on.
And really it was some of your health issues we were discussing earlier that led you to this path that you're on.
Yeah, it was at the point of I would resist the messages of just fatigue and pain and discontent, really, about my daily life and my obligations. And I pushed it to the limit, or I should say over the limit. And I almost felt like it was carte blanche all of a sudden, where it's not me making that decision to pull out of business, let's say our own business, but I now was being given permission to do something about it. And that kind of released that guilt feeling that we carry. You know, so I was forced in a way. So I'm seeing it now as a blessing, as a matter of fact.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, led me on the right path to understanding that we can do a whole lot to be responsible for our health, and we can do a whole lot being responsible for our actions and our lifestyle.
Beautiful.
Lifestyle of integrity. You know, just go back to the basics.
And you're all about abundance and prosperity with this. I think what's amazing to me as a real estate developer in my past is the scope of what you're doing. You're looking to build entire communities, small cities, ranging in size from as small as, I think you said, 1,000 people to maybe as big as whatever.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Well, the concept being is that if we have all these solutions to many of our problems now already, but they're all segregated, we're not really connecting to share our solutions in order for people to benefit from them. So the idea was simply to bring everyone that's a leader in those arenas of, let's say, wellness and education and also the environmental issues together and share those solutions. And then once we know exactly what works, then why not re-educate the professionals in those fields so they can now spread it on to their clients and their communities and, you know, really make a difference. But we're doing nothing other than uniting in order to find the tools for people to use in order to help themselves. So we're not here to bridge from where they're at to where they're going, and then they feel like they're relying on this particular community now to get better or find prosperity. but we're equipping them with the education and the immersion to take it from there once they've received information.
Mm-hmm. And the design, I love what you're coming up with here, where it's both very advanced in terms of its layout here. It kind of reminds me of a crop circle in some ways when you think about crop circles. And I'm sure you can't see this very well, but it's beautiful concentric circles of different functions going out with agriculture woven into it, and community space and all these different things.
Yeah, it's meant to be actually a year-round place for people to come to, and we share our resources there also in a state of where people can come together in larger mass so that we can have the educators present their ideas, like in the amphitheater. Mm-hmm. We're throwing in the culinary side of things as far as utilizing our nutrition from the land, how to prepare it properly, the wellness sector of it, because now we have so many possibilities to educate even virtually that you can bring in, for instance, all of the homeschooled community and physically give them now a facility to reconnect, which is lacking if they're homeschooled, and really try out some different ways of finding people's full potential when it comes to their education.
What do you think the reception is going to be out there when you come into an area and just all of a sudden start building a city? I mean, what have you envisioned?
You know, it's not really so much anymore what do I think. It's actually now has been established, and that it's a need, and it's very much wanted. Mm-hmm. We have several communities that once they understand the gist of this and what it will do to serve their community members and also attract outside people, more like a destination to come to, how much it will aid in the revitalization of their community, at the same time give their community incredible tools that they would elsewhere go, at a far distance if they would find it. Now we bring it all together where they just go to one place in that respect.
Marvelous. And did I hear right that you have 11 different locations you're considering right now as far as...
Yes, you did hear right. There's one that's already been determined for sure, 2 others at the council state level right now, mm-hmm. and several others that we just get constantly phone calls about. I would like to hear more about it. Let's set up a meeting, come out, look at the property. So we evaluate really if it's the right property, what their needs are, because this particular model is adaptable to the community's needs. We simply plug in the modules that are applicable for the community, right, to serve them.
And we saw the very space age sort of a master plan of this, but you can show the pictures to the people on
as
here.
Far as the village concept?
Yeah, it's very, it's still from above, it looks so space age, but really down here we're looking at something that's very European looking, really, in this particular. Will there be different styles in different areas of the country? Or?
Yes, we will adapt to the locale so that it fits in and not really stand out to the point where people are saying this does not fit in. So it's meant to be a welcoming place for people mm-hmm. to really gather. And the idea is that everybody is welcome. So we're trying to really bring back community, bring back family units, and share our resources.
What are some of the ways that you'll facilitate that?
We as Quantum Living are simply the facilitator. Mm-hmm. So we have the design, we have the concept, we will build these facilities depending on what size for different properties. But then we also have a team who's going to orchestrate pulling in the different organizations to provide the services and the programs in those facilities. So in other words, we allow the community members, the businesses, to first come in and occupy the space, and whatever is still left over, we then draw from other organizations to provide services to the community. I also like to involve international exchange of students, practitioners, researchers, etc., because this is a way to kind of break down a little bit of the barriers that we have formed over the years of not understanding another culture. So it's almost like a hands-on learning, living laboratory type facility as well. So whether it's the culinary students or wellness practitioner students, it really all depends on what this particular locale is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But this gives us an opportunity to expose people in the United States before we go global with this, to learn about the different cultures, and that includes the arts as well as the cuisine, language skills, all kinds of possibilities. We have broken it down to quite a bit of detail already.
How will the transportation work within one of these cities?
Within the actual village, if it's a mixed-use concept like the one we're planning for this particular location, is going to be non-motorized vehicles. So we're trying to figure out what all can we use
Very good.
to introduce that alternative energy, being kind to our environment, transportation system. Whether it's literally hopping even in a boat, if we have the water feature entailed in that, or let's go back to a horse carriage, or a scooter, Segway, anything that's not motorized in that sense.
Yeah, a bicycle.
Bicycle, of course, and walking paths and all that. Think about it as reconnecting with nature, but living in coexistence with modern technology. So this will also be a showcase for all these green building products as far as principles, methods, and so forth to introduce to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And allow us to also test certain things that are brand new when it comes to technology. Let's use this facility as kind of a test model as well.
So solar power, wind power?
All the latest that we can
Geothermal.
possibly bring out from our great minds. The leaders are out there, solutions are out there, but often they just don't have a space to go to. So we want to provide the space for them,
Very good.
as well as community.
Provide the container for the energy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we work totally in cooperation with existing businesses and organizations. We help one another. What one doesn't have, we will supply, and vice versa.
Yeah, actually you met the ranch owner here through CEO Space, which is about a cooperative corporate world versus the competitive corporate world.
It is exactly right.
So same model.
Same model, and it's a totally different approach to traditional business, and it's been proven to be so successful that projects are coming to pass that would have taken many, many years and lots of resources to put together. And because of the cooperation and people wanting to do the right thing together, it's just a very easy road to travel. That's what I've found, especially for this project.
Yeah, exciting. And you've found a lot of good support out there in the financial world too, with these philanthropists who want to participate in helping bring this to reality.
It is actually a beautiful thing, because I understand there's a lot of people out there wanting to do the right thing, but not necessarily the right projects that would make a big impact and serve a lot of people. So I'm being told that there is really a lot of resources at hand, and they're just waiting to find those particular projects to be involved with. So I've had the guidance and people being connected to me to do exactly that. And the way I look at it is that they have an opportunity to be part of something great because of the resources they have. They not necessarily have to be part of the hands-on portion of this, but they are so much part of the shifting that we are doing as a society.
Well, it's really interesting that you started this in America. Once you go beyond America, where do you think it'll go to after America?
It will probably be very much about the collaboration that my joint venture partner has already established, because they're a global infrastructure and development company. So they already have their existing connections, with governments and their leaders and wanting to do good. And it would be kind of a natural progression.
Beautiful.
So who knows where that's going to be. But I know there's interest in pretty much all Africa already. And
how about Germany,
Trinidad.
your native land?
Oh, no doubt. Has to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has a feel to some of the precision and excellence that I see in German engineering and products. So carry that in your DNA, obviously.
Well, the beautiful thing is, since I actually come from a background of aviation, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of traveling, and it allowed me to break down the barriers between cultures.
Great.
And now what I'm allowed to do with this mission is I can bring these details, the authentic details, to the United States and allow people to kind of get a taste of it. And I'm hoping that they will embrace the travel abroad to experience the real culture.